Hello, my name is Sergio Romero Jr. and my bad. Uh, what is happening? Okay, hold up. Hello, my name is Sergio Romero Jr. and this is my presentation on how computers process data in CIS 101. Let's get to it. Now, the way computers process data is first of all, how is data entered into the computer? Well, data is entered through either manual input devices or by digital inputs. Input devices are is a way how data is entered into the system through a physical interaction. This can be either by keyboards, mouse, or touch screens, or anything that involves a human or a person to physically interact in order for data to be entered. Digital input is entered through the system in a more electrical signal way, such as an on and off switch and such. Now, once the data is entered into the system, or once data is entered into the system, it is processed by the brain of the computer, which is the CPU or the central processing unit. This the brain, well, once it receives the data, it analyzes the data and processes the data in and sees what to do with the data. However, and so forth. However, in order for the brain to be able to do that, it needs storage. Now, storage happens all throughout the way storage happens all throughout the system or how computers process data. Reason you need you need space on you need to know how much data can enter and how much data can the brain process at a time, which is known as RAM or random access of memory. And you need to have storage for how much data the brain can enter, and also how much data the brain can process or has processed prior or before. Once the brain, once the CPU processes the data, we get what is known as the results. What does the brain say? These are known as output methods. There is physical output method and digital output methods. The physical output methods is where the system or the computer transfer data into something physical. I am so sorry the presentation has them switched. So, but the physical output method is when a system transfers data into something physical, such as a printer. Uh, you enter data into the printer, and the computer of the printer prints out paper. It's something physical. While a digital output method is a method in which the system or the computer transfer data into something physical, such as transforming text into a PDF file. There are a lot of different methods, output methods a computer can do, such as, um, give me one second, such as turning on motors, such as um, flipping off and on, turning off and on lights, raising temperatures, etc., etc., producing audio, producing sound, even, etc., etc. Thank you so much. This has been my presentation for what is a computer and how can a computer process data, which is simply data enters through either something through a manual input device or digital input device, such as mouses, keyboards, touchscreens, or anything. And then the computer processes the data through its brain or the CPU, sees what to do with it, sees how can I process this, and through memory and through storage, the computer uh, either, it's how much data it can have saved or how much data it can process, and then the computer just gives the results, which is through output methods, which is either printing something, turning text into a PDF file, turning on or off anything in the world, or producing sound, producing audio, producing images, even, etc. And thank you very much. This has been my presentation.